before he was incarcerated, he used to write poetry all the time. He always kept in a brown foul, and I was like, man, I want to be like my big brother. And so I started writing poetry. And my first poem was towards a young lady that I was kind of drawn to back in the 7th grade. And so yeah, but what made me keep writing was my 7th grade teacher, Miss Pilar Murphy, who's now a pharmacist now. She's making $100,000 a year. She gave up teaching, but yeah, she listened to my poetry. She told me it was good. So ever since I've been writing and believing. So yeah.
Definitely, that's awesome. So you were inspired by your brother, and obviously this girl that you were infatuated with, which is
yeah.
But since then, how has your poetry changed?
Now it's changed because it's changed by I've become more passionate about different things in life. Mm-hmm. At first it was just a teenage crush. Now it's about things that I'm actually passionate about as far as the youth in the community. Like I said, I look up to my brothers a lot, and now both of them are in prison for 25 and 40 years. So every day it's my goal to prevent other young people from going down the same journey as them. So my poetry directs more towards things like that, things of that nature, trying to inspire the youth about different things that they can get, that they can beat. I'm real passionate about the ghetto and young people, so I talk about the ghetto a lot. I talk about mostly things that affect black culture a lot. So those are the things that mostly inspire my poetry.
Wow, that's amazing. We're actually going to take a listen to one of your tracks called Child in the Ghetto.
Okay, let's do it.
Tell us a little bit about this before we play it for the audience.
Produced by Southern Phase, one of the best producers in Arkansas, hands down. But the actual poem, it's called Imperfect Pictures, Child in the Ghetto. And it talks about just how imperfect this picture of life is, the life in the ghetto, of a child in the ghetto. So just talk about a couple of different series of situations and events that some young people in the ghetto go through, and I pretty much just made a story out of it and painted a picture with words.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is Child in the Ghetto, written by Chris James. Okay. How you doing?
I'm good.
You comfortable?
Lights off.
No, you're not good. You're not good. Yeah, you're good.
Welcome to the city, ghetto, where we don't live alone. And the children alone, by the time they 15 years old. And the summer's cold, everywhere to hide.
You missed a great place. I missed a great stage.
I know. I tried to contact you for 2 reasons. To get you on the show because I didn't know how to respond to it.
I'm that force.
I'm that force. I don't even know you. I'm not even sure if I knew you were at the time.
I'm going to make it happen. I'm just, it's a kind of heart.
How did it turn out?
I got DVDs. Let me know y'all want $10. And my CD is $5. Y'all want CD? I bought some great poetry while y'all riding. So yeah, I got about 5 tracks on the CD.
I'm asking for a shot, take a pistol up a joint case. Being tired of my pocket, ain't for the chamber, ain't for seeing over there. You can shoot some broad and play with over ball today. After all, it was hanging, it's a cold still penetrating. Finders of 3 black boys, playing ball on the court to 21.
What is your non-profit or your activity?
My boys like defense, so that's not a chocolate food. I don't know what's wrong with that. But
your activist
the Roots Art Connection.
our connection.
Yeah.
Is Florence County dry here? That's that she was riding.
Yeah, I was brought up to it. Apollo's founder of Florence County. Yeah. She just left the house. Yeah, she's doing good.
What was so funny? He said, "Oh my God, I just said everything and stuff. If I didn't have to text, I'm gonna be right here right now."
Yeah. Who just texted me? Like, who texted me? Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't text me, man. I would have. That was a good look. It was good. He wrote me on Facebook too.
Yeah.
I do all my promoting on Facebook, so that's why I'm always on there. My homegirl in St. Louis, she said she tuned in.
She said she listened.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, they got an app. It's a, you can just do it.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I posted on Facebook. That's tune in real fast.
Oh snap! This thing has a dot for
Nobody, because we are on the front line. The expected heroes in the adolescence and the rage for us to save them. This picture is painted for viewers. So viewers on this campus paraded by young restless children, dying daily for the opportunity to be more than crackheads, prisoners, drug dealers are dead. I can't imagine giving up on these young beautiful people burning with bruises. Because so many of them have already given up on themselves. And sitting back watching them die all slowly is no different from being eroded. So ask yourself, are you a part of the solution? Or continue to see this 21st century genocide? Welcome to the city of death, where we don't live long. And children are grown by the time they're 15 years old. And the summers are cold and the winters are high. And the sunshine don't last that long. And the summers are cold and the winters are high. And the sunshine don't last that long. Come to the light.
That was Child in the Ghetto, written by Chris James. And who was that produced by again?
Southern Phase, a.k.a. Carl Michael. So y'all support that, brother.
So yeah, that was deep, to say the least.
Thank you.
So is that based off previous experiences? I hear in the lyrics that it's almost like you're talking to another person at a point in time where you're listening to your student's story.
Yeah. I always say I'm most inspired by my students. I work with over 30 students every day. The same group of kids. and I'm inspired by their lives and their lives and their chain of events. And I mostly write from their perspective to society, to kind of let society know our perspective from the ghetto, because often they don't know the truth of it or the raw reality of it. So it's always my goal to show them that through my words.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome. So in this program that you're doing with you said it's called the Roots Art Connection? Yeah,
the Roots Art Connection is my nonprofit, but I'm actually working under, right now, the Pulaski County Youth Services with a great program called Our Club, and we're located on 1600 John Barrow Road, and we're funded through the city of Little Rock. So we're on John Barrow, so any kids ages 12 to 17 can join our program. I am the program director, and Sandrika Morning is my site coordinator, and we work with the students every day with theater, spoken word, poetry, creative writing, and all other forms of creative arts. We actually just finished doing a stage play August 1st, and last week we finished recording our first CD, which is going to be awesome, so y'all be looking out for that, please.
Definitely. And if we wanted to follow you, how can we do that? See when the CD's gonna drop?
You can follow the Chris James Journey on Facebook, the Chris James Journey, or you can follow the Roots LR on Facebook, or you can add Chris Scorpio Poet James on Facebook and get more information about what I got going. I got a lot going too, so please keep up with it, man. I got a CD right now, that's out, just $5, only $5. And also, the DVD for my second stage play just came out, Confessions of a Sinner. So you can get that as well, only $10. So you can just hit me up. And tonight we actually have a show at 521 Southern Cafe, and that's on 521 Center Street on the corner of 6th and Center. The show is called The Art and Soul Lounge, and it's hosted by me, Chris James, and Osiris Bali. So it's going to be a great show featuring Butterfly, The One Jamal, The No Name Band, JP, a lot more artists, and Foreign Tongues to be featured. So some great artists on the lineup. So y'all definitely want to come check us out tonight and get my CD.
Awesome. Speaking of Foreign Tongues, how did you get involved with them?
How did I get involved with Foreign Tongues? I was just a young poet out here, doing poetry, and Osiris hit me up and was like, or Apollo, both of them probably hit me up, but they told me about the group, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to be in a group for poetry, like it's like a gang or something. I gotta get jumped in. I don't know, but eventually, I hit him up probably weeks later and was like, I'll join, man. Give me my shirt, so I'll join Foreign Tongues, and we've been traveling the U.S. ever since, and really building the poetry scene in Little Rock, Arkansas, and making people really support poetry. So yeah, that's how I became a part of Foreign Tongues. And since, man, we've done shows with over 400 people in attendance, and we make poetry look cool.
You also compete, don't you?
Yeah, we compete nationally. Tomorrow night I'll be in Birmingham, Alabama, doing a feature at Boss Lounge Ultra in Birmingham. So if you're listening in Birmingham, I'll be there Friday and Saturday. So I'll be featuring, doing a headline set Friday, and Saturday I'll be doing the slam, trying to win that $400.
Wow, awesome! Well, we definitely wish you luck. We know you're gonna tear it up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm getting that money. I'm hungry.
But no, you can't be one of those starving artists with all you're doing.
I mean, yeah, I'm not starving, but I am always starving for attention, to be heard. Mm-hmm. I want to be heard by every ear and every soul that's in existence. I want to be heard by you. But definitely not starving in any other sense. I'm eating good. Because I'm working real hard. So
definitely, you got to. Wow. So you're going to Birmingham, and how did your competition go when you went to
New Orleans? Oh man, we Foreign Tongues. We ranked number 8 out of 32 teams in the nation, which is off the chain. So next year we get number 1. We get number 1. Hold me to that. Southern Fried 2014. We coming to South Carolina, and we finna take this championship, and then in 2015 it'll actually be in Little Rock. So Southern Fried is it's the second biggest poetry competition in the U.S. and that's gonna be real hot. So 2015 it'll be in Little Rock. So y'all be looking out for that.
Wow, so Little Rock is even doing some big things.
Oh yeah, we gonna be big rocking a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So aside from, you got Foreign Tones, you got The Roots, Art Connection, you got your own personal poetry, but you also, you write, you're a playwright.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am a playwright. I just mentioned, just finished my second stage play. The first one was The Odds Against Us, and the second was The Confessions of a Sinner. I write, and so I'll be doing plays frequently. Playwriting is my life. I love bringing words into reality. I love painting pictures with words. That's why we often call ourselves spoken word artists, because we're artists. We're more than just poets. So I always explain to my students, whenever I explain what spoken word poetry is, I always explain to them it's painting pictures with words. So both of my plays are written in poetry verse. So if you see them, they'll be, each scene will consist of poetry. And that style of writing that I'm writing in was inspired by Shane, of course. If you ever seen For Color Girls, so so the actual play was entirely in verse.
Right.
Before Tyler Perry did his thing, it was definitely in verse. So I was really inspired by that style of playwriting.
Okay.
So all of my plays are like that. Somebody said that my play is what Shane did, the hip hop version of. But you can call it that, but I love it, man, and it's fun and it's informative. So come get the DVDs tonight, people.
The first play, remind me what it was.
The Odds Against Us.
And what is that about?
It talked about all the different odds against young African American people in our communities. But it's once again, it talked about their perspectives. It talked about usually we always hear statistics about young people from the ghetto, about why they drop out of school, we hear about them dropping out of school. We hear about them becoming teenage parents and drug dealers or criminals or whatever. We hear all these negative statistics about people from the ghetto, but we never hear about how 1 + 1 became 2. So the play actually talked about how all these things came to pass, but it also talked about how people that come from those environments can overcome those odds against them. So the play was powerful, and I tell you, not one dry eye left that auditorium. It didn't. I promise you. The hardest of the hardest were crying. They were crying. I promise you. So it was a powerful stage play, and we actually plan to do it again here in 2013 before we end the year. We're gonna do it again. So we're looking out for that in the next month or two.
Okay.
We're coming back.
Awesome. And then Confessions of a Sinner. What is that one?
Oh, Confessions of a Sinner is deep, and I mean deep. You might drown if you ain't got your life jacket on. It was deep. Confessions of a Sinner talked about a lot of different characters who were confessing to a lot of different sins. So that they confess sins from homosexuality to hey, I'm not a Christian. Hey, to I'm a sex addict. So hey, I got AIDS and I gave it to you. I apologize. You gave me AIDS and you apologize? What? So, but it talks about so many different stories. But it just talks about a lot of different things that people in the general world would frown upon. So the play consisted of people coming out like, hey, I'm tired of living life in the darkness. This is what I am. This is who I am, accepted or not. So Confessions of a Sinner talked about that to its totality. And it was dope, man. The people loved it. People are ready for more. And I'm going to keep bringing more, man. I promise you.
Definitely, you have to. It's your job. If you want to be heard.
Yeah, I got to be heard, man. It's necessary. It's very necessary. So, yeah.
So what would you say has been, or who would you say has been the most influential person on your life, on your craft, on everything that you're doing?
The most influential person in my life is my mother. I'm a mama's boy, y'all. Sharon Denise Hardaway. She's been in my life since I've been born. I respect my mother so much. She's always worked two or three jobs, but she's very supportive of everything I do. She's been at my last 2 plays. She comes out to my poetry events often. You know, she's honest. Like every newspaper I've been in and every newspaper that I work for or whatever, she archives them all because she's my biggest fan. You know, I'll invite her to a show and she'll pay. I'm like, hold on, mama. You know, but she's sewing into my harvest. You know,
right? So,
and I love her for that. She's my biggest inspiration, and she's always been there, and I always will be there. She was there when I was broke, and she's gonna be there when I get rich. So, like for real, like I have a great mother. I love her. I'll brag on her for the next 20 minutes. I can do it. Don't test me. Nah. But yeah, I love my mom. That's my biggest inspiration. Outside of my youth, the youth are definitely one of my biggest inspirations. But my mother, she takes the cake.
Awesome. That's beautiful that your mom's there to support you. That you have your mother, because some people don't have their moms.
Yeah, true.
And that she's supporting you, what you do, she's proud of you. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And
you said something about newspapers.
Yeah. I used to own a newspaper called The Essence of Blackness, which was a great newspaper. Now I work for the biggest African American owned newspaper in Arkansas, which is the Little Rock Sun. CEO is Mr. Julius Larry, and also the managing editor is Dana Wimley, and I actually do the layout, and I'm the copy desk editor of that newspaper. So it's a great newspaper. We just put out our 6th issue, and it's circulating right now. So we have a great newspaper, man. 20,000 a week. Like, who's doing that? Like that. So we really trying to do something real big as far as African American publications in the city. So we every week. So advertisers, hit me up. I'm gonna give y'all my number for that one. 501-366-3793. That's 501-366-3793. Advertising the Little Rock Sun, one of the best African American newspapers in the city. 20,000 a week. Now, if you don't get any calls back from advertising with us, something is wrong. So hit me up for that advertising.
Awesome. Well, we thank you, Chris, for coming on the show. Any last words before you go?
Man, everybody just stay beautiful. Stay beautiful and come support the Chris James journey. And keep supporting my sister on Crafts and Conversation.
Awesome. Thank you. And he said, so you can find you at the Chris James Journey at Chris Scorpio. What is it on Facebook?
Chris Scorpio Poet James.
And where else?
The Roots LR.
Okay, awesome.
And tonight, come out to 521 Southern Cafe, the Art and Soul Lounge. We will be doing poetry and neo soul all night long. It's gonna be a beautiful event. And 7 p.m.
You gotta go. If you don't go, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But again, thank you, and thank you, audience, for allowing us to bring another wonderful artist who's doing something in the community, and we're really reaching out and touching kids and helping them better their lives. So, like you said, they don't end up like your brothers, that they had to be an unfortunate example, but an example nonetheless.
Definitely. You said that so well.
Thank you. So, always remember, follow us, Crafting Conversations, on Twitter and Instagram at ARK Showcase, and also you can find us on Facebook at Crafting Conversations. Be looking out for our newsletters where we'll be letting you know about our upcoming artists, and you can go on dunbarfest.org and get more information about previous artists. You can also listen to this conversation with Chris James again if you want to, because he was talking about a lot of things that you need to get into, Arkansas. So, but with that, we're actually going to tune out with Chris James, your hip hop poetry.
Let's do it.
What is that one about?
It just talks about how hip hop has changed. It's changed a lot. So check it out. Get the CD.
Awesome. And again, thank you to our producer Aaron LaVon Jones and Dunbar Festival Inc. for underwriting this program. And this is Hip Hop by Chris James.
I should have got back before that.
I apologize.
I used this man.
Sound like John Legend a little bit.
Nah, I'm about to.